Hi, my name's Barney Scare. I'm going to give you a very quick run through of my game One Card Dungeon, which is, as the name rather suggests, a one card dungeon crawl. In this, you play the adventurer, a little dice who is going to be going through 12 levels of this dungeon, trying to reach the 12th and bottom level and kill 3 dragons there to claim the Sceptre of MacGuffin, a magical item which does something. There isn't really much of a plot. Kill the monsters, move on to the next level. The idea here is to defeat the monsters on each level. So you are represented, as I say, by this dice. You start off with 6 health. On this level 1, there are 2 monsters. You'll see on some of these squares there's little numbers, so 1 and 1 here. Shows that on this level, level 1, that's where the monsters are going to be spawning. And I'm placing these 2 dice here with a 2 on them, because if you look down here, you'll see the little spider, which has got 2 health. So that shows that on this level, the monsters have 2 health. They also have various other stats along here, which you'll see they've got a movement speed of 5, an attack of 4, defense of 4, and a range, which is what this bow means, of 3. I have stats of my own, my adventurer does rather, and you'll see underneath here that it's unfortunately 1, 1, 1 and 2, which if that was all I had would lead to my adventure being mushed into some paste rather quickly, but luckily I also have energy in the form of these 3 dice, which I will roll at the start of every turn and assign to my speed, my attack and my defense in any order I choose, which will then sort of determine my total stats for the turn for what I can do. When it comes to movement and for range for attacks, 1 space orthogonally is 2 points of movement or range, and 1 space diagonally is 3 points. So from here to here would be 5 points, because it would be 2 plus 3, as an example. I'm just going to give you a really quick run through of how the game works. I'll go through the first couple of levels, and then you should get a good feel for how it works. So every turn starts with the energy phase, where we roll 3 dice. Well, that's a great start. Hopefully I won't be doing that again later on. Well, normally I would then decide how to assign each of these. 1 needs to go to my movement, 1 to my attack, and 1 to my defense, based on what I've rolled. However, obviously, doesn't actually matter in this case, because I've rolled what's the opposite? What's beyond snake eyes? A snake with a bullet in its head, I guess. So this turn you add together your skill value plus the energy assigned to it. So in this turn I've got a movement value of 2, attack of 2, and defense of 2. It's not actually going to matter too much this turn, because I don't think I'd need an awful lot of. I've only got a range of 2, which means I can only attack orthogonally. So I need to get an awful lot of movement to be able to get to attack this turn anyway. So I'm just, all I'm going to do, so all I've got is 2 movement. All I need to do is make sure that these monsters can't get in range to attack me. So I'm just going to move to there, which is going to cost me my 2 movement points, and that's the end of my adventurer phase, which comes after the energy phase. Then comes the monster movement phase, and monsters move from the closest will move first, and then towards those that are further away. Monsters will always try to move to be at their maximum range, is their goal, to try to get as close as possible to their maximum range while also getting in range to hit you. So these guys having a range, these spiders have a range of 3, which they'll try and web me. So for example, we start with the closest, and this one's 9 away, and this one's 3, 8, 9 away. So they're equidistant, so I can choose which one to do first. So I'll do this guy, who's going to try to get to this square here, which is distance of 3 diagonally away from me, which is what its range is. So it'll move as fast as it can towards that. They have a movement speed of 5. It can't quite make it there, because it would need 6 movement to get there. So it's just going to move to there, which is the closest it can get. Then this guy's going to move, and again it's going to try and get to that same space, because that's the closest one that's at range 3. And again, with only a movement speed of 5, it can't quite make it there, so it does this instead to get as close as it can. Then comes the monster attack phase, where if any monsters were in range to attack me, I would add up their total attack value and compare it to my defense, but I don't need to worry about that too much this turn because they're not in range. So that's the end of the first turn. All I have to do now is just cycle through this process until until either I run out of health or I manage to defeat these two spiders. So let's go back to the energy phase. That is definitely a better roll. 3, 4, and 5, and I can choose which order I want to assign these, which one to the movement, which one to attack, which one to defense. None ever get assigned to range. Range always stays the same, but after each level you can upgrade one of your skills to increase one of these values, and that's one way you can increase your range. So what I'm going to do, I think, so in order to wound these guys I need an attack of at least 4, which is not going to be a problem because I've got, even if I assign the 3 to that, that's still enough to do a wound because it's a total of 4. Which leaves me then with the 4 and the 5. And again, I don't think it's going to matter too much because one of them attacking me, I'll be able to block, but if both of them can get in range to attack me, they do a total of 8 damage to my 4 defense. To 5 defense here, which would cause me 1 point of damage, because what you do is you divide one by the other. And so, for example, if I had a defense of 4 versus an 8 attack, it would cause 2 points of damage. And you can see, so you need to put quite a lot of energy into defense in order to, if there's multiple monsters attacking you. I think whatever happens this turn, these monsters are both going to attack me. I don't think there's anywhere I can get to where they can't both get to me. Or maybe, actually, possibly, if I go, what if I was there? Yeah, okay. I could move to there, but then I wouldn't be able to attack. So one option I could have is I could move to here, in which case only one of them would be able to get in range to attack me this turn, but I wouldn't be in a position to attack at all this turn. But that's, I think, fine. I'm going to allow that this turn. I'm going to do that this turn. So I'm not going to attack this turn. I'm just going to move from here. 5 movement points takes me to here. I could use 6 movement points to get to here and attack, but then I would get both of them attacking in return. So I'm just going to do this. Okay, so in the monster movement phase, this guy who's the closest is going to move in range. Now this guy, can't get to this space, so now needs to get to one of these 2 side spaces, and needs to get to this space here, so we'll move as quickly as possible towards it, which is to there. So then we have the monster attack phase, where only one of them is in range to attack, so only one of them is within range 3, and therefore has an attack value of their attack of 4 versus my defense this turn of 5, so therefore does no damage. So that's the end of the turn. Can I, this turn I'm hoping to be able to hit the guy and then run away, but we shall see. That could be a pretty good roll. So 4 is enough to do a point of damage. That's enough to block, and then that gives me 7 points to run away, which might be enough. That's how I'm going to assign them, I think. And then in the adventure phase, I'm going to attack. So I have an attack of, sorry, oh, I knocked it there. Total attack value this turn of 4. They have a defense of 4. That divided one by the other, that does 1 point of damage, knocking this guy down to 1 health. I'm then going to move away. You can do moves and attacks in any order, so you could move in, attack, and then move away if you wished. So I've got 7 movement, so I'm going to go 2, 5, 7, I think. What I'm trying to do here is keep it so that only one of the spiders can attack me at a time. If they can both gang up on me, then they can hurt me, but one of them on its own probably won't be able to get through too much of my defense. So that's the end of my adventure phase. It's now the monster movement phase again. So again, starting with the closest, there's no, they can't move onto these wall spaces, so there's no diagonal places they can attack me from, so it's just going to move into an orthogonal space. And then this guy again, he can try and get to the closest space he can attack me from, which is this space over here. So we'll just move as fast as possible towards that. And so once again, in the monster attack phase, only one of them's in range to attack me. Attack of 4 versus my defense of 5 can't hurt me. This is going quite well. Next turn. That's a slightly worse roll, but probably good enough, because all I need to do is kill one of them. If I kill, I've got enough to attack there to kill. And then I can, if I do that to block, that's then enough to block if the other one manages to get into range. once you've killed one of the spiders, usually they're not too much of a threat because the other one can't. You need to roll pretty badly for it to be able to hurt you. So in my adventure phase, I can attack the spider and kill it with, again, 4 versus 4 is enough to do 1 point of damage. And then, because I've got enough defense this turn that this guy can't hurt me, I might as well just move towards him. In fact, I've got 4 points of movement, and that's why I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. The advantage of being in this corner is that when this guy attacks me, he won't be able to attack me diagonally, because if he could attack me diagonally, I can't attack diagonally because I've only got a range of 2, so I'd have to keep moving to attack. But even in the corner, he can't, because of these walls, he can't do that. So in his turn, he's just going to move in and attempt to attack me, but again, his attack of 4 versus my defense this turn of 5 means he can't hurt me. Or she, because maybe these are she lobs. So next turn then. Okay. Ooh, that's not a great roll. That's not enough for me to both hurt and defend, so I'll just defend this turn. I'm not going to move, I'm not going to attack, because I'm going to attack of 3 versus their defense of 4, I can't get through it. But I'm assigning this one to defense so that I don't lose a wound in return. And then, so nothing really happens this turn. We just sort of stand still and bash at each other, not causing any damage. Once again, that's a pretty shocking roll, but again, I've got enough to block without actually taking any damage. So again, you need to roll, like I say, when you're against one of them, you need to roll pretty badly. That's enough there for me to do a point of damage in my turn, 4 versus 4, and not take a point of damage in return. And then hopefully should be able to finish him off with one more set of rolls. Yeah, that's more than good enough. Doesn't really matter how I assign those, because 7 will kill him off straight away. So that's the end of the first level. I've completed it without losing any health, which is, I think, the first time I've ever done that, which is quite good, considering I'm showing off here in a little video. The end of the level, you're assumed then to run to the next set of stairs to go down to the next level, at which point you can flip the card over. So, as you can see, the card has 4 different positions it can be around. So this way around, you've got the spider on this level. This way around, which is the level 2, you have this sort of skeleton archer, and the level's laid out like this. Then this way around for level 3, you have this Etin, or sort of double-headed giant. And then for the 4th level, you have a dragon, and the level's laid out like this. Once you complete the 4th level, you would then go back to the spider again, but there's now more spiders. So there would be 3 spiders again. So the difficulty increases every turn. Even though there's only 4 different types of monsters, 4 different types of level, the levels increase in difficulty every time up until level 12, where you would eventually face 3 dragons, which is a serious challenge. The only way you're going to be able to do that, of course, is by, if I was going in to fight some 3 dragons with 1, 1, 1 and 2, I'd be, as I said, paced pretty quickly. But every time you complete a level, you get to do 2 things. Firstly, you get to increase your health by 1, but obviously I haven't lost any health, and this dice can't really go above 6, so it stays as it is. But if I had lost 1 health, it would go back up again. And you get to increase one of your skills by 1. I think I'm going to increase my defense by 1, because again, the most important thing is often not to lose health too much. So in this second level is a little bit trickier, because I'm fighting against 2 skeleton archers, as I said, who have 4 health each. One's over there and one's there, according to these little number 2s, because I'm level 2. 4 health each. They've got an attack of 5 this time, which means that they can hurt me more easily, because the 2 of them together have an attack of 10, which I can't block at all. And they have a range of 4, which means they can attack me from sort of 2 spaces away orthogonally, which is quite nasty. So these are quite a lot trickier than the spiders. So how am I going to deal with them? Well, let's see. Let's again try and kill one of them. It's usually the right tactic. Again, 3, 4, 5. That's quite a nice roll. But again, I'm not going to be able to make it into range to attack one of them this turn. So I'm just going to sort of creep up behind this wall. I think this wall could be quite helpful to me this game. Monster movement phase, then the closest one goes first. They have a movement of 4, so they're a little bit slower than the spiders. They can't sort of jump quite as quickly, so it's going to move 4 towards. It's going to try to get to range 4, which is this square here. It's at range 4, so it's sort of 2 orthogonal spaces from me, but it can't make it there with 4 movements, so it's just going to go 1, 2, or possibly it could go 1, 2. I get to decide if they're both sort of equally good. Sorry, not very clear there. It can either go to here, or it can go to here. I'm going to decide it goes to here because they're both equally good. I get to decide. Then this one's going to move, and again, the closest space it can get to that would be in range 4 is this one here. So again, it's just going to move movement 4 towards it. And that's the end of because again, neither of them made it into attack range. Let's go on to the next energy phase. Okay. That's not amazing. So what can I do here to try and... What I want is, I think I probably want like one of them in range, but not the other. If I put that into my defence, I'm not going to be able to attack them this turn safely, I don't think. So let's not worry too much about attack. Focus more on defence this turn. So what I'm going to do, I think, actually, is just step backwards and draw them onto me a bit. And that's all I'm going to do. So in their phase, the closest one, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8 versus 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So, sorry, 2, 4, 7, 9, but still 8 versus 9. So this is the closest in terms of the shortest path to me. So this one's going to be moving first. And again, it's going to move 2 spaces towards me to get into range, which it is now in range. But then this guy is going to struggle to get into range now because he can't get to that space. So he's going to have to come towards this space, trying to sort of flank around me, but can't make it actually into range this turn. So again, that's the end of the monster movement. In the attack phase, this guy's in range, this one's not. So grand total attack on me of 5 versus my defense of 7, no damage. Next round. That's a nice roll. I like that. I quite like that. Let's see. I think I'm going to get hurt this round no matter what. I don't think there's much I can do about it unless I don't cause any damage to them, which is the problem, which is kind of useless. Because if I did that, I could probably run away far enough this way to not get hit by this guy, but I wouldn't be able to hurt any of them, and frankly, got to be able to hurt them. So I think I'm going to trade a point of damage for a point of damage really this turn. But I don't want to get trapped in this corner is the problem. So actually, maybe I will. I don't want to get trapped in that corner. If I get trapped in this corner and these two are here and here, there's not much I can do about them. They're just going to sort of keep shooting at me. Actually, no. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to... No, because the problem is, in order to move into attack, I'd have to move to here to attack, and then this guy would move to here, and I'd be completely trapped, and they'd kill me quite quickly. So I need to run away this way, I think. So the only thing I can really do is to run. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so I've got 7 movement. I'm going to do 2, 4, 7 to here. Okay, in the movement, this guy, while he's already in range, so I haven't got enough damage to attack him this turn. While this guy's already in range, he's going to try and get towards maximum range, but obviously there isn't a maximum. He can't use enough. He hasn't got enough movement to get to maximum range, so he'll just move to here, which is the furthest out he can get, which is at range 3 rather than 2. This guy is going to look for the closest one that is in range to attack me, which is, let's say, 2, 5, 7 versus 2, 5, 7. So it would be this one here because it's at range 4, despite being the same distance away. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces towards it. Or 1, 2, 3, doesn't make any difference really. Same result. And again, only one of them is in range to attack me, and I've got enough armour to not be a problem. However, I'm not doing much to them this game. I'm sort of dancing around them, but not actually getting enough damage, getting any real damage in them. I'm going to have to take a bit of damage, but this time I'm not going to be stuck in the corner at least. So, good. Really need 3 good dice, but I haven't had it for a while. So I'm going to go for this. I'm going to finally take a bit of damage this turn, I think. So I'm going to move, use my movement to step in range of this guy. And I'm going to attack with my 5 versus a defense of 4. Is going to knock a point of health off this guy. Finally damaging one of them at least. But I think I'm going to get a bit whacked back in return. I don't have any more movement, unfortunately. So this guy will then, the closest one will step to range 4. And this guy will actually just step into here, in fact. Oh, sorry, knocked it. Because they can walk through each other, but it doesn't actually need to. You can just step round the corner to get into range. There's nowhere else it can get to that's in range with its movement, so it will step to, they'll kind of swap places, really. Which is kind of annoying because it means the wounded one's now at the back. But what are you going to do? And then they've now got a total attack of 10 versus my total defense of 7, which means I'm unfortunately losing a bit of health here. It's not going quite so well this round. Oh, that's a nice roll. I like that. Then I can have plenty of movement and plenty of defense and enough to cause a wound and then run away, hopefully. Yeah, so I will attack with, so this is enough to cause a wound to this guy. And I've got 7 movement to get away. I think probably just running into this corner makes sense, I think, because that will mean only one of them can get into range for me. Although maybe not. Maybe I want to go somewhere else. I went to this corner. And that one come down here, and that one come over here, and then I'd be trapped again. So definitely don't want to do that. 3, 7. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, the only place I can go to here and is there, I think. So, and then monster phase, that guy's going to come to here. This guy will, the closest one that's in range is here, so we'll move towards it. To there or to. Yeah, to there is the closest it can get to, or to, back to here is the other option. I'm going to go for there. Again, only one of them's in range. I've got enough defense. It's not going to hurt me. Oh dear, that's not a good roll at all. That's truly awful. I'm in a bit of trouble here. I can't cause any damage to them with that without taking a lot of damage in return, because if I assigned it like that, I would only have 4 defense versus their 10 attack, and I would take 2 points of damage, which I really don't want to do. Because obviously that 4 divides into 10 twice, ignoring the remainders. So I'm going to have to just take a point of damage, but not do any damage in return, I'm afraid, this turn, and just sort of limp away. No real choice. So I'm going to step into here and swing my weapon pitifully, doing no damage. Monster movement, then this one counts as closest, so can't get to range 4, but we'll move to range 3. This one also can't get to range 4, so I'll actually just stay where they are, because there isn't anywhere at range 4. Well, the only one that's range 4 for me is there, and you can't get there without. Actually, where are they here? They're just 1, 2, 3. No, they're staying at range 3 is the best they can do. So, and again, in return, I'm taking 10 points of attack, because there's 2 of them versus my 6 defense. I take another point of damage. Ouch. Okay. Please roll well this round. Haha, that'll do nicely. So again, lots of movement, enough attack, enough defense. So I'm going to knock a wound off this guy for 4 points. Leave me, unfortunately, I haven't got enough to do 2 points because I can do it. I haven't got upgraded. If I'd upgraded my attack, then maybe I'd have been able to do 2 points at a time to these guys. Maybe I should have done that instead. Oh well, and I've got 7 points of movement to get away, so 2, 5, 7, I think is my best bet. Because then this guy doesn't need to move because he's already at maximum range, but this guy goes like that, very slowly, limping towards me. Next round, come on, roll well. Oh, that'll do. I think that'll do. Will it do? Can I get away? Well, let's see. It's enough defense, it's enough attack. Yeah, so 7 movement. If I go 2, knock a point of health off them with my attack. I've got 5. Then I've got 5 points of movement left, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. Yep, monster movement then. This guy's closest. He's going to go to here, which gets him in range. This guy, closest one that's in range, is here, so he's going to move towards it like that. So I'm pretty close to getting trapped in here, but there is that one guy on 1 health, and if I can kill a guy on 1 health, I'll be all good. Once again, at monster attack phase, attack of only one of them's in range, so attack of 5 versus my defense of 6. No damage. Next round. 4, 5, 5. That's pretty good. That'll do. So I can do that, and that allows me to 5 points of movement. So step in there, kill that guy with an attack, and then I'll just step to there. This guy will then run into range, but again, not against my shield. Okay, I should be alright now. Having I say that and then roll something like that, which is pretty shocking, but again, I'm going to put that on my defense so he can't hurt me this turn. He'll move to being in maximum range. But I'm not going to go anywhere this round really, because there's nothing I can really do. Just stand still and put my best dice on defense really. Next round, that should be enough, because I can go. That's plenty on my defense. 5 on 5's not enough, so I need that on my defense, that on my attack, that on my movement. Yep, that's enough for me to step in, cause a wound, and for him not to be able to damage me in return after he steps back. Next round. That's truly awful. Not much I can do about that. I think I'm going to get hit here. Yep, I'm going to take a wound here. There's nothing I can do to avoid that. I've only got 3 points of movement. There's nowhere I can get away. I'll try and get away there, but it's not going to work, because he's just going to go bink, bink, and be in range and do a point of damage on me, because his attack of 5 versus my defense of 4. It's not enough. That's painful. Okay. Just need to roll a bit better than that, really, don't I? That'll do. That's enough for that on that and that. It's just enough for me to step in, do a wound, and not take one in return. And then, come on, finish him off, finish him off, finish him off. That'll do. All I need is a 6 on the attack. Nothing else really matters there. Done. So, that's the end of the second level. As I said, I would then heal up to health of 4, going into the next level, and get to upgrade one of my skills. And let's say, I don't know, I haven't actually done it. I'm not going to play the level, but let's say I would upgrade my attack. So I could see what I'd be facing next, which would be, as I said previously, would be this Etin. I think they're called Etins. I'm sure someone will correct me. Which is a sort of double-headed giant. But as you can see here on their stats, they move very slowly. They only have a range of 2, but they've got an enormous attack and defense of 7. It's kind of what you'd expect of a giant, really. So you can see that the different types of monsters require different tactics to deal with them. So for the spiders, they're very quick. You've got to sort of hit and run and hide. The archers, you're kind of chasing them a bit. The Etins here, it's all about the hit and run. Because if you get caught by a swing, even though there's only one of them, you need to have a pretty decent amount of armor. You need to basically be getting rolling a 6 here to be able to block it. So it's all about the hit and run. And then finally the dragon is, again, they're kind of good at everything. So the tactics there is a lot about using the walls to block. But you'll find your own tactics playing the game, really. Yeah, that's, like I said, that's a quick run through the first couple of levels. I'm not going to go through any more at this point, because, like I said, there's 12 levels, and you want to see what sort of, get your own feel for it, see what tactics you find work. This was a really fun challenge, sort of trying to squeeze a dungeon crawl into one card. and I'd like to thank the organisers of the Board Game Geek 2020 one card game design contest, for which I won the best solitaire game category with this game. There's some other great entries in that, which you should really check out. There's a lot of creativity out there. People come out with great ideas for how you can play a game on just a single card. And frankly, as much as people look at some sort of print and play challenge things and look and go, oh my god, that's a really big thing. How do you print so many cards? How do you print so many tokens and little spinny things that people build, and they can be really impressive. But in terms of a place to start, games like this that are just a single bit of paper. Here I've just printed it on a bit of photo paper. I haven't even laminated it or anything special, just because it's a board on the that you play on. It doesn't really need anything more than that. I encourage you to try out some of the other games as well. If you like the design here, I've also got another game, another dungeon crawler, like sort of a bigger dungeon crawl out in the 2020 solitaire competition, which is my game DNGN, or Dungeon, which is sort of a minimalist styled dungeon crawl. If you want to see how I design a much bigger dungeon crawl, which has proper loot and treasure and lots of different monsters and storyline, you should check that out as well. You can find me on Board Game Geek as Zombocom. Honestly, send me any thoughts, any suggestions, any hate mail. I'll happily receive it all. Thanks a lot. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.